Hello, good evening. You're welcome to another edition of Just Banter. My name is Habib Enyola. We're sorry for the late start. Sometimes you do get a technical hitch here and there, one of those things you might say. So we do apologize once again. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a matter that is very interesting, that's captivating the imagination of quite a few people around the world. Now, you might wonder, CBN ban on cryptocurrency in Nigeria, grabbing the attention of the rest of the world? Well, not necessarily. It's actually more about the fact that cryptocurrency in itself has been a controversial asset, so to speak, for quite a while because so many people truly just don't understand what cryptocurrency is in the first place or whatever the value of cryptocurrency is. A lot of people actually think that cryptocurrency is a fad that's actually going to die out at some point in time or the other. But the funny thing is, Bitcoin has been around. That was the very first cryptocurrency built, on a blockchain technology, and it's been around since 2009. So coming to 2021, that's roughly 12 years that Bitcoin has been on the prowl, and quite a few people who have actually invested in it have seen some outstanding returns, some as much as 300%. So for somebody that actually invested in Bitcoin as of June last year, as of January this year, they actually had a 300% return on that investment. Now, I personally, I get very wary when anything that you're investing in gives you that type of return. In fact, anything that goes about 15% starts to worry me because, like they say, if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. Tonight, we've got a financial specialist, somebody who also invests in Bitcoin, who also does advisory when it comes to investments for various types of portfolios, including cryptocurrency. His name is Oluyomi Martins, who's going to be joining us very shortly. We'll be bringing Oluyomi Martins on stage. Yomi, how are you today?
Hi, Habib. How you doing? Been a while.
Been a while. It's always a pleasure to have you on here because you always lecture us, give us, very,
yeah, I'm learning for you too, brother.
Don't worry. I'm only going to be asking the relevant questions because
okay, fantastic.
When you talk about investment portfolio, there are so many questions around, so many things that it could actually be a topic at a time for each type of investment before you now start talking of what a portfolio is in it. High risk, low risk, medium risk, returns, and all of that. So a lot of people do know what the investment game is all about. A lot of people understand what it is to invest stocks, but a lot of people have no idea what cryptocurrency is in the first place. What is cryptocurrency?
Okay, Habib, I will make it very short because I know that we don't have actually so much time to disseminate the knowledge we need to disseminate right now. Now, you cannot talk about cryptocurrency in a vacuum. You have to talk about cryptocurrency from the background of the blockchain itself. Okay. And the most popular cryptocurrency as we know it right now is the Bitcoin. But irrespective of the cryptocurrency that we're talking about, whether Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, Dogecoin, which my very good friend Elon Musk has just invested 1.5 billion naira in right now.
$5 billion.
Dollars. Sorry. We can't talk about all those currencies in a vacuum. So let me just take us to speed very quickly. Blockchain is like an open. It's not like an open ledger. It is an open ledger in which a ledger is where you have transactions. Ledgers is supposed to the ledger of the blockchain is open. That means when you are being traded, Yomi Martins will have a copy of that trade. Somebody else is monitoring that trade as in verifying it. Because we actually have miners also, and we have people that are exchange holders like Binance, Luno, and all the rest of them that actually try and verify transactions that we do. So when you ask what is Bitcoin, I have to look at blockchain also. Blockchain will get to the level in which when you want to send your land, you want to sell your land in Banana Island. You know that one that is very close to Otedola's estate, the one that you just bought. Abib, you remember the one that you just bought? You are going to be sending the C of O on blockchain very soon. A lot of people don't know that that's a joke, but let me clarify, it is a joke. So,
but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, because blockchain technology is being used for so many other things right now.
Exactly. No, I'm joking about you having a land in Banana Island. That's a joke.
Oh, okay.
Because I know you don't.
Banana
Island. That's making it interesting. Don't worry. So,
okay.
Bitcoin, you can't talk about Bitcoin without blockchain. Now, when you have open transactions and all that stuff, you now start talking about exchanges. And I give it to people, I tell people that on the crypto trade markets, it's not so different from what you have from in the stock market and what you have in the forex market, because we are trading on the same thing, fundamentals and technical. Fundamental is about news and financials, and technical is about the chartist book. What do I mean by the chartist book? When you start looking at how the direction of currencies or trade will move in terms of the shapes of particular charts. You understand? Rubicons and all the other things. If there's an earthquake in Japan today, the yuan will obviously drop in value because it's negative news. If they say they have murdered the Prime Minister of Britain, I'm sure the pounds will drop. Those are fundamentals. And cryptocurrencies on the blockchain, crypto, Ethereum, and all the rest of them are trading on the same fundamentals and technical. And a lot of people ask me, okay, why is it that it's so volatile? The volatility is based on the fact that it's an open slate. The stock market is regulated and they are pegged the movements. That means they can tell you that movement of stock cannot go beyond 5% per day in some exchanges or 9% per day in some exchanges. But crypto can go beyond that. There are some cryptocurrencies that have appreciated as much as 70% in just one day. But there is no stock that can appreciate up to 70%. It is because of the nascent nature of cryptocurrencies right now. But when they plateau and they have reached a reasonable level of acceptance based on demand and supply, we can now have stability without any government intervention. I think I've already enveloped what crypto and Bitcoin.
So for a lot of people, the Bitcoin has become the euphemism for currency. So if you're trading in almost
for what?
Bitcoin has become the euphemism for practically every type of cryptocurrency that's out there. A lot of people who are savvy actually look at some of the other currencies or some of the other cryptocurrencies as the alt currencies. Some go as far as calling it the shitty currencies or the shit currencies. All sorts of stuff, all sorts of names. Why? Because they actually feel that cryptocurrency in itself, the market cap for those other, all those other types of cryptocurrencies are quite low as compared to that of Bitcoin. Now, that is part of what confuses a lot of people. A lot of people still don't have a clear idea what cryptocurrency is, how you can use it. Well, we have seen a country like South Africa actually having a crypto ATM machine.
Yeah.
Now, you mean what is a crypto ATM machine? How is that going to be used? How does that even come
Okay.
into play?
Yeah. The crypto ATM machine is nothing novel to what we have globally, in the sense that if you listen well to um, the launch, they will tell you that the crypto ATM machine itself that was brought into South Africa was brought in from Portugal. That means it is not something novel to what they are having in Europe, right?
Okay.
Now, what do I want to say? You see, the space of crypto is going to envelope us pretty soon. A friend of mine was asking me, before I go back into the crypto ATM, a friend of mine was asking me, he's actually a broadcaster as well. I won't mention his name here, but he works for Channels TV. He called me and asked me, he said, so will we be having situations in which people will be paying for their mortgages and all that stuff with crypto? I said, yes. You know why? The crypto ATM means...
I know that already happens, I monitored some transactions that happened about 7-8 months ago, where somebody bought about 3 properties in Dubai, well, in the United Emirates, not in Dubai. So one
paid
in
with
Dubai,
crypto.
then 2 in 2 other parts of the United Arab Emirates, and he actually paid in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So that's already happening. That's already happening in so many places. Already
Yeah. So it's already happening. So what am I trying to say, right? The crypto ATM, obviously you have a card to use an ATM in the first place. So it's just the digitalization of the cryptocurrency. That means with your card, you can either save money in crypto or collect money in crypto. And when you collect money in crypto, you can use it to buy everyday things like I want to buy a shoe, I want to buy a TM Louis shirt, I want to do any other thing using my cryptocurrency. It's
TM
just as
Louis is out of
simple as
business.
that.
TM Louis is out of
No,
business, by the way.
I'm just joking, I know. I'm just joking. Don't mind me. I'm just joking.
I
But
know.
I said that for sarcasm.
Yes, of course. We
Yeah.
understand you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for your everyday needs, your everyday purchases, you cannot start using crypto.
Exactly. And who tells you if you can't start paying your mortgages on crypto? Who tells you that you can't start paying your health insurance on crypto? You can start paying every other thing on crypto because it's unrestricted.
Okay. So now cryptocurrency in itself, based on the technology, that is the foundation of cryptocurrency, which is the blockchain.
Big blockchain.
It's open source. It's not open source. It's an open ledger, like you said, where for every transaction, it is open to those people who have access to that blockchain. It is not somebody
wallet to wallet.
Wallet to wallet. It's not something that any particular individual can change any part of the details of that particular transaction at any point in time.
At all.
You need.
Remember.
Go ahead.
Go on. Remember, it's extremely encrypted.
Yes.
It's probably safer than what you have in the United States Central Bank or Citibank, or even in the CBN in Nigeria. There is extreme encryption for all transactions. We have what I will call ultimate security.
Okay. So now that blockchain technology, the security behind it, is basically what is supposed to secure the value of each and every one of the cryptocurrencies, if I'm correct.
Slow down. You know, I'm a student doctor. So
Okay.
I always like you using the right terms.
Okay.
I'm a student doctor. When you say secure value,
Okay.
security does not secure value. Security of a system does not
Yes.
secure value. So let's get that straight. I'm a
Okay.
student doctor. I'm supposed to have my PhD very soon. So I'm very technical when it comes to details.
So
Security.
what exactly maintains the value of
What maintains value? Law of demand and supply. You remember, Habib, when we were both in secondary school, they taught us law of demand and supply. How many people are demanding for a particular product and what number or quantity of that particular product are available. Cryptocurrency just has 21 million in circulation. It's not like fiat currency, your naira and dollars that
sorry,
are constantly.
all the cryptocurrencies, Ethereum and all of that? Because I
No,
noticed.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, so you are
Only
the student
Bitcoin.
doctor. You are the student doctor, so the terms. So you said cryptocurrency.
I'm sorry. Only Bitcoin. Others also have a static value, like Ethereum, XRP, and the rest of them. They also have a static value. So when they produce a particular set of cryptocurrency, they produce a particular number in circulation.
Yeah.
So unlike fiat currencies that federal governments print every, do you know how many naira the Nigerian government has printed over time? Those guys just print naira every day. Do you know how many dollars Donald Trump, that guy that has been impeached 2 times, has printed during his tenure? No, really.
Okay.
Do you know how many he has printed? He has printed millions of United States dollars. So why do I have credibility on that currency called the United States dollars, and I will not have credibility on crypto Bitcoin that has a stable amount? Come, it's a no-brainer now. Come on now, Habib. We went to school now. It's a no-brainer.
No, look, Yomi, this is not about me. I cannot.
No, it's not about you, but I'm also asking you the question also.
Yeah, it's not about me. It's not. I can't impose whatever knowledge I have because I'm not a subject matter expert.
No problem
on that. You are the subject matter expert, so you are the one that can explain to people, what Bitcoin is, what Ethereum is, or what cryptocurrency is in general, and what benefits it is. So actually start looking at cryptocurrency as part of their portfolio. Now, if Elon Musk, like maybe just managed probably the last 30 minutes, that we checked, he was still the richest man in the world. If Elon Musk is the richest man in the world and is investing in cryptocurrency, then it does say something about the cryptocurrency and the blockchain. Now, before we go on, let's give a little background into Elon Musk, and then we'll now come back to Elon Musk's investment in cryptocurrency, and then the actual topic for tonight, which is the trading of cryptocurrency in the country. We'll be back shortly after this.
Elon Musk becomes world's richest man. From being bullied in school to becoming the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. As the founder of the Boring Company and co-founder of OpenAI and Neuralink, Musk pushed for all kinds of futuristic technologies, noting that he won't be satisfied until we've escaped Earth and colonized Mars. With his brother, Kimball, Musk launched Zip2. A cluster of Silicon Valley investors helped them fund the company, which provided city travel guides to newspapers like the New York Times and Chicago Tribune. While Zip2 got off the ground, Musk literally lived in the office and showered at a local YMCA. The hard work paid off when Compaq bought Zip2 in a deal worth $341 million in cash and stock, earning Musk $22 million. Musk next started X.com, an online banking company. He launched the company in 1999 using $10 million of the money he got from the Zip2 sale. About a year later, X.com merged with Confinity, a financial startup co-founded by Peter Thiel, to form PayPal. Musk was named the CEO of the newly minted PayPal, but it wouldn't last long. In October 2000, he started a huge fight among the PayPal co-founders by pushing for them to move their servers from the free Unix operating system to Microsoft Windows. PayPal co-founder and then CTO Max Levchin pushed back, hard. While Musk was en route to Australia for a much-needed vacation, PayPal's board fired him and made Thiel the new CEO. That's the problem with vacations, Musk told Fortune years later about his ill-fated trip in late 2000. But things worked out for Musk. He made another windfall when eBay bought PayPal in late 2002. As PayPal's single biggest shareholder, he netted $165 million of the $1.5 billion price eBay paid. In early 2002, Musk founded the company that would be known as Space Exploration Technologies, or SpaceX, with $100 million of the money received from the PayPal sale. Musk's goal was to make spaceflight cheaper by a factor of 10. SpaceX's long-term goal is to make colonizing Mars affordable. Musk has said that SpaceX won't file for an initial public offering until what Musk calls the Mars Colonial Transporter is flying regularly. Musk took an active product role at Tesla, helping develop its first car, the Roadster. The all-electric Roadster debuted in 2006, when Musk was serving as Tesla's chairman. Hess now also its CEO. As if that wasn't enough, Musk came up with the idea for SolarCity, a solar energy company. Musk gave his cousins Peter and Lyndon Rive the working capital to get SolarCity off the ground in 2006. In late 2016, Tesla bought SolarCity in a $2.6 billion deal. In 2007, Musk staged a boardroom coup at Tesla, first ousting Eberhard from his CEO seat and then from the company's board and executive suites entirely. In 2008, with the financial crisis seriously limiting his options, Musk personally saved Tesla from bankruptcy. Musk invested $40 million in Tesla and loaned the company $40 million more. Not coincidentally, he was named the company's CEO the same year. But between SpaceX, Tesla, and SolarCity, Musk nearly went broke. He describes 2008 as the worst year of my life. Tesla kept losing money, and SpaceX was having trouble launching its Falcon 1 rocket. By 2009, Musk was living off personal loans just to survive. Right around Christmas 2008, Musk got two pieces of good news. SpaceX had landed a $1.5 million contract with NASA to deliver supplies into space, and Tesla finally found more outside investors. By June 2010, Tesla held a successful initial public offering. The company raised $226 million in the IPO, becoming the first car company to go public since Ford in 1956. To get his finances back on track, Musk sold shares worth about $15 million in the offering. Musk's extraordinary career was starting to get noticed in other circles, too, most notably in Hollywood. Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Tony Stark in the Iron Man movies is at least partially based on Musk. Musk even had a cameo in Iron Man 2. By the end of 2015, SpaceX had made 24 launches on assignments like resupplying the International Space Station, setting lots of records along the way. In 2016, the SpaceX Falcon 9 made the first successful ocean landing of a reusable orbital rocket. The Falcon Heavy, the successor to the Falcon 9 and the most powerful rocket SpaceX has built to date, completed a successful maiden launch in February 2018. The Falcon Heavy carried a unique payload, a dummy dubbed Starman, and Musk's personal cherry red Tesla Roadster, which were launched toward Martian orbit. Musk can't stop coming up with new ideas either, like the Hyperloop. A super high-speed train that travels in a vacuum tube, the Hyperloop could theoretically transport passengers from Los Angeles to San Francisco in 30 minutes. In a similar vein, Musk started another company in 2016, The Boring Company, which has a mission to dig a network of tunnels under and around cities for high-speed, no-traffic driving. And in late 2015, Musk co-founded OpenAI, a non-profit dedicated to researching artificial intelligence and ensuring it doesn't destroy humanity. Musk founded one more company, this one in 2017, Neuralink, which is trying to build devices that can be implanted inside the human brain. The year was a bit rocky from a political standpoint as well. Musk joined President Trump's Business Advisory Council, a move which caused a huge public backlash. He initially defended the move, but he quit after Trump pulled the US out of the Paris Agreement on climate change. Musk said he tried to convince Trump not to withdraw. Musk ran into some trouble in 2018 when he sent a tweet declaring he was considering taking Tesla private at $420 per share and had already secured funding. Just a few days later, the SEC sent Tesla subpoenas about the company's plans to go private and Musk's comments. In November 2019, Musk debuted a new Tesla vehicle, the Cybertruck, Tesla's first and very highly anticipated pickup truck. Since the unveiling, Musk has been spotted a few times cruising around in the truck, including on a night out to dinner at Nobu with Grimes. Today, Elon Musk is the world's richest man, with a net worth valued of $197 billion.
So, we had to give a little background into Elon Musk for people to try and get an understanding of what his wealth of experience is and the depth of his character when it comes to investments. Now, he's been through it all. He's been through the highs, through the lows. He's suffered losses. In my opinion, he probably has lost much more money than he has ever made because he keeps going into these ventures and a lot of the times things go wrong. But for some strange reason, people keep on having faith in Elon Musk. So if people keep having faith in Elon Musk, then there must be something good about what he's doing. We lost Yomi there for a couple of seconds, but Yomi is back. Yomi, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Sorry, I just decided to take a quick snap.
Okay, so we were just, saying that we gave that background in Elon Musk for people to, we lost him again, for people to understand, the depth of his knowledge and his experience. Now, one would say that the Cbn'S ban on the trading of cryptocurrency in Nigeria was probably an African thing, a thing where it is supposedly a case of Africans don't think deep, Africans are not forward thinking. Now, the irony of it is this. Elon Musk is a Canadian citizen, but he actually is a South African, so he's African. So he's forward thinking enough to be able to think in that direction, to be able to try to figure out why cryptocurrency will be beneficial in the future. Now, a lot of companies have actually started looking at cryptocurrency as part of their risk portfolio. Some look at it as medium risk, some look at it as high risk in terms of the classification of their portfolio. Now, Yomi, I was just saying, to the viewers, Cbn has banned the trading of cryptocurrency. Some look at it as an African thing, but the irony is that Elon Musk, we've lost him again. So, anyways, now, why would Cbn ban the trading of cryptocurrency? In my opinion, first things first, when you look at cryptocurrency, it is something that you don't need the Cbn to be able to trade in cryptocurrency. It's blockchain technology, it's up there in the cloud. So different people in different parts of the world can actually do what you call peer-to-peer transactions, where I could actually pay Yomi, for instance, for his services, and I do not need to go through a bank. I do not need to have to rely on the bank. I do not have to pay those extra charges to a bank to be able to carry out that transaction with Yomi. For a lot of them, I wonder why they come up with these policies. Is it a case of they're not forward thinking enough? Now, if the likes of Mark Zuckerberg, for instance, whom we've all seen and have accepted that he's a maverick, if he can come up with the idea of the Facebook coin, that shows that there's something happening in that direction when it comes to cryptocurrency, to digital currency, digital transactions. We've all known that digital transactions were going to evolve. Now, it evolves in different ways depending on the region where you're in. So take, for instance, in Africa, mobile payments have taken the lead as opposed to Europe. In Europe, mobile payments are still like light years behind the African continent. Amazing, isn't it? So why is it the case of they cannot start looking at the things that are trending and start picking on those trends and start developing on them when they come up with these policies? Is it a case of it is stakeholders, a particular group of stakeholders within the entire committee of stakeholders that have a particular interest, and then they are the ones that push for certain things to happen in a certain way so that they, benefit from it? We know that the Nigerian Stock Exchange, for instance, has had issues for quite a while. A lot of people have lost trust in it. Most people actually invest in banks and bank shares in Nigeria, and the bank shares they're not performing that well anymore, especially considering the fact that some banks actually ran 2 IPOs in a year. I found that rather curious. Well, that was back then anyways, before some much more stringent regulations, came into play. But I always found that rather curious. How can you run an IPO twice, same organization, in 1 year? It just goes to tell you how risky those portfolios are. And that people have now discovered cryptocurrency. They've seen that the returns are much more stable. The returns are much, much more stable, much more beneficial to the investor than even the like of federal government bonds. So are they trying to force people to put their money back into federal government bonds and the likes to the Nigerian Stock Exchange? What exactly does the Nigerian central bank hope to achieve by banning the trading of cryptocurrency? The CBN governor actually came out and said anti-money laundering. Yeah, anti-money laundering is an issue. But it's an issue everywhere in the world. That's why AML, anti-money laundering, has become quite a thing in most European and American countries, as in the North continent of America. So you see Canada, you see the United States, you see Mexico, they all have anti-money laundering units. They have KYC, that's know your customer. These have become strong departments in practically every financial organization right now. So couldn't the CBN have put in place a strong anti-money laundering and a strong KYC unit to be able to monitor the money laundering issues that they're talking about? That was their reason for banning these things. I'm sure they could have done that. But we have seen some countries who have taken rather drastic measures when it comes to the anti-money laundering issue. Some do not even allow you to do online transactions over a particular limit in a particular month. So, yeah, it just might not seem out of place. Unfortunately, we have lost Yomi. Yomi would have been able, or should have been able, to give us a deeper insight into why it was not such a good idea, or why it could be a good idea for the CBN to have banned the trading of cryptocurrency in the country. But banning of the cryptocurrency in the country does not go against the free market policies. The governments in Africa need to start looking at the type of policies that they put in place, because when you look at the vast potentials that are bound all over Africa in different sectors, if your policies are not right, those sectors can't grow. And that's just a fact. So when you look at exporting goods out of Nigeria, for instance, look at the pains that you have to go through to try to export the goods. You also look at the pains that you go through to import the goods, as a matter of fact. Now, why is there such heavy importation? Because there's no infrastructure. You don't have power, so you can't power your factories. So people have very limited options in terms of where to invest their money. Tons of people have tried to invest in agriculture. It's been a problem, probably because no infrastructure. So you have farmers deep in the hinterlands whom you find a way to get your money across to for them to be able to increase their production. But when the production is done, they harvest. To actually get the goods from these farms to the table, it's another problem. We did do a show on this issue a few weeks ago. You can always check them on our YouTube channel. They're there for you to watch. the agri supply chain, and you probably might learn a thing or two from it, and you probably might also get an idea on how to tap into the agri supply chain or the value chain, whichever one you decide works for you. So back to the CBN. Now, those policies, they do need to look into them. They need to try to figure it out why they need to unban the cryptocurrency. It's probably not going to work because when you do put a good initiative under the rug, what you're actually asking for is for that initiative to go underground. And when something goes underground, the people that suffer the most are the people who innocently want to actually invest in those ventures, but they cannot, simply because it has gone underground. It now becomes much, much more expensive for them to get onto that train because it has gone underground. Why do that? Why make life harder? In my opinion, I think they should unban it. I think it's time they started looking at their monetary policies all over again. A lot of Nigerians go to school abroad and they go through all sorts to try to even get foreign currency to be able to pay school fees for their children. They wouldn't need to do that, which is send their children abroad to school, if the education sector was functioning adequately. So there are a lot of things that are wrong in a lot of African countries. Nigeria is giant of Africa. That's why we have a strong focus on Nigeria every time we come online and we talk about the different types of issues that are currently trending. Nigeria is so large that it affects the whole of Africa. It's more or less the largest market on the African continent. On that note, I'm going to have to say good night. We've lost Yomi, so Yomi is not going to be able to give us as much information as we had hoped. We are sorry again that we actually started late. That was not our intention. It was due to the technical issues, like you have seen. From that end, part of the issues that we keep talking about, part of the policy deficiencies that you have, where loads of people want to come into the country and try to set up businesses, maybe fiber or Wi-Fi, so that they could actually provide some good services for Nigerians to be able to compete adequately with their peers all over the world. But unfortunately, that's not happening. So a lot of the times when we do talk to some of our Nigerian guests, we will encounter such issues, and we would like to apologize on their behalf before and after. So for the ones that have happened, we do apologize. For the ones that are still going to happen, we will still apologize in advance for that. Now, don't forget, there's a show on Saturday night called The Shower Hour. You're probably going to love this one, because this one actually is going to blow your mind. So the maiden premiere, or the premiere of the maiden one, which one of the two, I don't know. Anyways, the maiden edition actually happened last week Saturday and was pretty interesting. The host, Catherine, because she's not a co-host, the host, Catherine, was her first time on air, and she did have a good time, even though she had a technical issue or two and she was trying to wrap her head around it. So she has decided that she was going to blow the minds of all the viewers or intending viewers coming the next show. I'm going to be on it as well. And she's actually bringing on a sex therapist. Yes, a sex therapist. A sex therapist is actually a very, very, very good person to talk to at this point in time, where you have the lockdown issues. A lot of people are challenged, emotionally, because they're locked down in the same place and all that. And things are just not working for them mentally. So they just might not be functioning at their peak. For some, it's a case of the pressures have gotten to them and it's just not happening for them. For some, it's a case of it's been going on for quite a while and it's now becoming more obvious because people are under lockdown or because people are restricted in their movement. People can't travel like they used to. So they're always at home or they're constantly in their country of domicile and they're constantly in the face of their partners. So you need to talk or listen to that sex therapist. So if you want to talk to her, you probably might get the chance or the opportunity to do so discreetly, if I might add. So don't forget, check in 10 p.m. GMT on Saturday night. It's the Valentine's special. Valentine's is a special time for everybody. People seem to want to celebrate Valentine all the time. It's the season of love once again. So check it on Saturday night on 13th and join the Valentine's special of the Shower Hour. I'm sure you will love it. Now, before we go, like we always do, we always talk about our social programs. And one of the things that we always talk about that we never forget is the issue of rape. We always say no to rape. If I might remind you again, for those who are constantly watching every edition of Just Banter, you would have noticed that we do give this data and statistics to back it up. It's a worldwide pandemic. It's happening in practically every country you can think of. It is a terrible, terrible crime against humanity. A lot of women are vulnerable. A lot of children are vulnerable, and a lot of aged people are also vulnerable. In Nigeria, for instance, 1 out of 4 women that you see before the age of 18 have actually experienced sexual abuse. 1 out of 10 young men before the age of 18 also have gone through sexual abuse. Sexual abuse usually happens with people that are close. So a lot of the times you have to keep a close eye on your children, keep a close eye on your family members. Sometimes people don't speak out, but their body language tells you a lot. So if you do keep a keen eye on the people around you, you probably would figure out something is wrong with them even when they can't speak about it. Don't forget that the aged are also equally vulnerable when it comes to sexual abuse. So please say no to rape. You can use any of the hashtags on the screen or both the hashtags to try to support the campaign against rape, and just type something, say something, and just put the hashtag no excuse, put the hashtag no to rape. It will go a long way when we all come together to try to fight against this horrible pandemic that's destroying societies and is destroying our children as well. So please, let's keep up the fight. Let's continue this campaign against rape. COVID-19 is still very, very real. It's taking the world by storm. It has destabilized everybody. Like we said, for the shower hour, being on a sex therapist, one of the reasons why you need one right now at this point in time is simply because of COVID-19. Please wash your hands as often as possible. Try and keep a social distance. We recommend the distance previously was 2 meters. It's now 1 meter because probably that seems much more feasible. So we all have to try our best to keep a distance from people. Don't go to parties. It's not worth it. You might not, fall sick from COVID-19. But what if you're actually a carrier and you do not know? And then you do infect other people with it. As much as possible, try and stay safe. Stay in one location as much as you can. Wash your hands and wear a mask at all times when you're in a public space or in a public vehicle, like public transport, planes and all of that. Please stay safe. COVID-19 is real and it's killing people. It's taking the world down. We all need to collaborate to try to knock it out. There are vaccines out, but the poor countries, who knows what's going to happen to them? The rich countries are fighting over the vaccines. They can afford it, but the poor countries cannot. The poor countries don't even have the political clout to access the vaccines. So if you do live in sub-Saharan Africa, I would suggest to you, try as much as possible to keep yourself safe. So you probably might not need a vaccine after all. The masks are still much more safer, from what we have heard, that is. Masks are still much, much safer for you to wear than for you going for a jab or two. Because some of those vaccines, you're actually in a follow-up after the first jab. So try and stay safe, depending when you do get the vaccine. And even if after you do get the vaccine, it is recommended that you still wear a face mask anytime you're in a public space. Do take care, and we will see you again next time when we come on Just Banter. And like we said, don't forget to watch the shower hour when we do come online on Saturday. So we'll give you a short preview